Hello everyone, welcome to the Street Crime UK YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more exciting true crime content. Convicted fraudster Festus Emosivwe led an 8-strong Portsmouth-based gang using more than 2,000 identities between 2014 and 2016 to order diamond rings, Rolex watches, TVs and clothes to his co-conspirators' homes under unsuspecting victims' names. Portsmouth Crown Court heard that IT graduate Mr. Emosivwe held an instruction manual on fraud and would pay gang members between £20 and £100 to take deliveries, with the total goods worth £358,000. In total, gang members were jailed for 16 years and 10 months, with all but one defendant being locked up for their part in the scam. Mr. Emosivwe received the longest sentence, with him jailed for 3 years and 8 months. Judge Timothy Moosley QC told him, "You were responsible for obtaining and providing details to others. You found people to accept deliveries and pay them. You were at the centre of the conspiracy." Whilst the financial loss falls to be met by the financial institutions, the impact on those who had their details stolen cannot be underestimated. Many of them speak of their heightened levels of anxiety, stress and fear as a result of finding out their accounts had been hacked. Prosecutor Michael Forster had told the court how victims' phones and emails were diverted so that Mr. Emosivwe could use their details without suspicion. Among the victims was 69-year-old victim Geoffrey Noble, a retired project manager from Hampshire. In a statement, he said, "The effect of this crime on me has been considerable. When I found out that I had been scammed, I was horrified and put to considerable inconvenience resetting passwords, contacting PayPal, my banks and other agencies." Mr. Noble's details were used to buy a near £3,000 designer watch. A cancer patient added, "I was furious at the time and I remain angry because nobody has the right to take the money I worked so hard for." In court, prosecutor Michael Forster said that there was some evidence of stealing to order, but also some of buying high-value goods to sell in on a shotgun approach, firing off as many transactions as you can possibly get and as many goods that come through as you can. The case came to light when BT alerted police. Officers uncovered PayPal transactions and the commerce firm helped to identify suspect deliveries. Mr. Emosivwe, known as Swifty, was at the centre of the conspiracy. Prosecutor Mr. Forster said that when police raided his home in Strode Road, Stamshaw, they seized 13 phones and 13 SIM cards from the top of a wardrobe. Fingerprint experts were able to identify Mr. Emosivwe's prints from one photo extracted from his phone of a bank card in his hand. Apple goods, cash, dresses, Louis Vuitton high heels, handbags and IT textbooks were found at his home by police. A loan receipt found by police reveals he transferred cash to Romania under an alias. When he was taken to custody, officers found that he had chewed and destroyed a USB memory stick. Laptops under his mattress and a white iPhone between his pillows were linked to the fraud. During the operation, arguments flared over payments that Mr. Emosivwe made to his co-conspirator Charles Onwu's estranged wife, Chloe Maylott, who used her home to take deliveries of goods under the BT customer's name. The mum of two, Miss Maylott, branded a £40 payment a joke and told Mr. Onwu that she had demanded more from Mr. Emosivwe. In a message, she said, "I've asked for more." In a WhatsApp message she sent to Mr. Onwu, Miss Maylott said, "Did you know it's against the law to use another person's name? It's called fraud." The court heard that she had threatened to go to the police despite taking parcels in at her Buckland home. At couple Penelope Chatzik-Constantinou and Victor Ungo's home, officers found a document on a device containing hundreds of stolen identities, including bank card numbers and dates of birth. Dad of two, Mr. Ungo, who studied petroleum engineer at university in Portsmouth, claimed that Mr. Emosivwe put them on his device. Adel Kadir, who was previously jailed for having a fake passport, took in 80 orders arranged by Mr. Emosivwe at his home between March 2015 and March 2016, the court heard. Deliveries were also made to conspirator Mouled Fassiyou's girlfriend's home in Methuen Road, Milton, including a £1,672 designer watch and £3,500 in 2016 using unsuspecting victims' details hacked through a phishing email. The court heard that Miss Fassiyou was very good friends with Mr. Emosivwe. One message from Mr. Emosivwe said, "You went from selling Rolexes to TVs to selling prams. Please stay in one lane." Mr. Adepoju had deliveries sent to his girlfriend's home in Francis Avenue, Southsea, including trying to get a bank card sent. Overall, the amount of goods ordering to gang members' homes was £129,000 worth of goods to Mr. Onwu's address in Broome Close, £69,000 to Mr. Ungo's and PC Homes in Raffles Court in Effistone Road, and at another address, including a £2,250 18-carat gold chain and diamond necklace, and a £430 iPad mini, £36,000 to Miss Maylot's home, including a fridge. She was paid as little as £20 a time or Iceland grocery deliveries for using her home. £98,000 to Kadir's home in Hillsley Road, Paulsgrove, including a £2,500 designer watch and near £5,000 diamond ring. £6,900 worth of goods to Mr. Adepoju's address, £5,900 to Miss Fasuyi's girlfriend's home in Methuen Road. On one of Mr. Emosivwe's devices, police found an instruction manual on how to commit fraud, which detailed how to get 100k easy by opening a credit card using someone else's details, Mr. Forster said. He said it was unclear how all the data was obtained. He said someone or other fraudsters got their hands on the data. The prosecutor added that it was either obtained by the fraudsters or it was acquired for money. A message from Mr. Emosivwe to an unknown party uncovered by police said, "Have you got any hacker I can buy from?" Mr. Forster said, "Whilst the Crown can't say how those details were obtained, certainly this conversation seems to do with hacking, which would be a way of getting such data." Mr. Emosivwe, 36, of Newcombe Road in Fratton, admitted conspiracy to commit fraud. He was previously handed a sentence for £20,000 fraud involving stolen identities. Robert Bryan, defending Mr. Emosivwe, said that it was unfair for him to be blamed for the entire operation. It was wrong to put all the blame on him, he said. Others were sending him messages asking how much he could give them for their Rolex. Sometimes he was just a conduit. Mr. Bryan said that there was no evidence of the fraudster hacking BT accounts, but conceded that it didn't stop him being the main facilitator who passed on information to others. He added there must have been people above him, though he was almost at the top of the gang. Mr. Onwu, 31, of Wells Close, Milton, admitted conspiracy to commit fraud. Toby Long, defending Mr. Onwu, said the defendant played a leading role in orders delivered, but as sole carer for his 7-year-old son that he had with Miss Maylott, pleaded the hard-working construction manager to be spared jail. But Mr. Onwu was jailed for 3 years and 7 months. Miss Maylott, 27, of Purebrook Way, Lee Park, admitted conspiracy to commit fraud by false representation. She has previous histories of benefit fraud. A text message from Miss Maylott to Mr. Onwu read out to the court read, "I have proof that you do fraud." Another said, "You only married me for a visa." Miss Maylott was imprisoned for 16 months. Mr. Ungo, 30, of Lowscroft Road, admitted conspiracy to commit fraud by false representation and conspiracy to convert criminal property. He has no previouses but was locked up for 43 months. Miss Chatsik Constantinou, 30, formerly of Highlands Road, Southsea, admitted conspiracy to convert criminal property. She has no previous history. Her lawyer, John Oliver, said that she exchanged a watch for cash, but didn't know what was going on with the fraud, let alone the extent. She was the only person not to be jailed and was fined £1,000. Mr. Kadir, 35, of Wolferington Road, Paulsgrove, admitted conspiracy to commit fraud. He has a previous conviction for having a fake passport that he used to go for a hair operation in Turkey. Mr. Kadir's barrister, James Caldwell, claimed his client was recruited by Mr. Emosivwe, but only received £4,000 worth of goods. He is not someone with a significant stake in the conspiracy, he said. But Mr. Kadir was sent to prison for 29 months. Mr. Fasuyi, 37, of Methuen Road, Eastney, admitted conspiracy to commit fraud. He received 2 years in jail. Mr. Adepoju, 40, of London Road, North End, admitted conspiracy to commit fraud. He was incarcerated for 19 months. Notices of deportation have been made to some of the defendants who are Iraqi, Nigerian and Greek nationals. What do you think about Mr. Emosivwe's story? Do you think he got enough of a punishment for stealing and using over 2,000 people's identities?
Thanks for joining us today. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a like and a share, and leave any thoughts or suggestions you have in the comments section. We love to read through them all. And if you're new but enjoy UK true crime content, then subscribe to see when our newest video releases. And as always, stay safe.